Lord God, Father of all goodness and glory, we approach your presence at this moment, our hearts brimming with hope and a profound yearning for your intervention in our professional lives. We recognize in you the fount of all strength, wisdom, and opportunity, and it is with this unwavering faith that we seek, in your divine presence, the answers and direction for the challenges we encounter in our careers. We know that, in your infinite mercy, you have a perfect plan for each of us, and it is to this plan that we wish to align ourselves, seeking not merely material success, but the fulfillment of purpose and spiritual growth in our professional journey. Often, we feel the doors of our careers closing before us. There are phases where we seem to be stagnant, incapable of advancing, or finding new paths that align with our talents and aspirations. Uncertainty hangs in the air, and the sense of helplessness can become overwhelming. Bills need to be paid, family responsibilities demand provision, and the desire to contribute meaningfully to the world around us drives us to seek new possibilities. We witness others prosper, their careers flourish, and we wonder when it will be our turn, when the Lord will open the doors that appear locked to us. This pursuit of advancement is not merely born of personal ambition, but often it is a calling to fulfill the purpose the Lord has entrusted to us, to serve our community, and to glorify His name through our work. At this time, Father, we do not ask for an easy path, but rather for a path blessed by you. We ask for discernment to recognize the opportunities you place in our way, even if they present themselves in unexpected or less conventional forms. We ask for courage to take the necessary steps, to step out of our comfort zones, and to face challenges with faith, knowing that your mighty hand will guide us. May your wisdom illuminate our minds, so that we may make sound decisions, choosing the paths that best align with your will, and that promote our integral growth, both professionally and personally. This is not a generic request for prosperity, Lord. It is a specific plea for you to remove from our path the invisible obstacles that prevent us from advancing. These are the barriers of doubt, fear, self-sabotage, and circumstances beyond our control. It is the lack of opportunities that seem to arise, the selection processes where we go unnoticed, the projects that do not materialize as planned. We know that, in your sovereignty, all things work together for the good of those who love you, and it is this truth that sustains us. We seek your direct intervention to remove these barriers, and to open clear and promising paths before us, where we may utilize the gifts and talents you have bestowed upon us to honor you. Above all, we desire our careers to be a reflection of your love and your goodness. Through our work, may we be instruments of blessing to others, positively impacting our families, our communities, and the world. May our professional success be a testament to your power and your faithfulness, drawing others to faith in you. We thank you for hearing us and for answering our prayers, trusting that, in your infinite mercy, you will open doors that no one can close, and close doors that no one can open. With grateful hearts brimming with hope, we entrust this journey to you, guided by your light and sustained by your constant presence. Lord, at this moment, we lift our thoughts to the necessity of clarity in our vision of purpose. Too often we merely seek material advancement, a higher position, or a salary increase, without first probing the divine intention behind our calling. It is essential, Father, that we discern not only where we wish to go, but why you direct us to this or that professional path. In this stage of our supplication, we implore a refinement in our perception of our calling. May we not be content with merely occupying a space in the job market, but rather may we perceive the mission your hand has entrusted to us, the specific impact you desire us to make. Just as an artisan shapes clay with purpose and intention, we desire your will to mold our trajectories, imbuing them with meaning and relevance. Consider, for instance, the situation of a professional ascending to a leadership position. Without clarity of purpose, this position can become a mere stage for personal vanity or the relentless pursuit of more power. Conversely, when the vision of purpose is aligned with your plan, this same position transforms into a powerful channel for positively influencing teams, fostering an ethical work environment, and contributing to collective well-being, thereby reflecting your justice and your love. Furthermore, it is fundamental to recognize that the door you open may not be the one we previously envisioned. It might be an invitation to a new sector, an unexpected career reorientation, or even a period of learning in a context that appears less glamorous. Nevertheless, when our purpose is clear in our hearts, we are capable of discerning divine opportunity, even amidst apparent normality or difficulty. It is imperative, therefore, that we cultivate an attitude of receptivity and submission to your guidance. May our spiritual ears be attentive to the whispers of your Spirit, which guide us beyond our own expectations. Moreover, the pursuit of purpose is not an isolated act, but a continuous process of discovery and deepening. Therefore, we implore, Lord, for wisdom that transcends technical knowledge or professional skill. We ask for spiritual discernment that allows us to identify the areas where your kingdom can be built through our labor. May we perceive not merely the tasks to be accomplished, but the lives to be touched, the seeds of hope to be sown, and the opportunities for service to be embraced, all in alignment with your sovereign will. May your light dispel the shadows of uncertainty, clearly revealing the purpose inherent in each step of our professional journey, thus empowering us to advance with confidence and direction. In the interim, the emphasis shifts to resilience and perseverance, virtues essential when professional doors seem recalcitrant to open or remain closed for prolonged periods. Human nature, at times, leads us to frustration and discouragement when faced with persistent obstacles, causing us to question our aptitude or divine justice itself. However, the biblical perspective teaches us that these moments of waiting and apparent stagnation are, in reality, forges where character is tempered, faith is refined, and an inner strength that defies external circumstances is developed. A tangible example of this can be observed in the trajectory of an entrepreneur who, after multiple failures in his initial ventures, decides not to give up but rather to learn from each mistake, refine his strategy, and persist in the pursuit of his vision. This resilience is not mere obstinacy, but a profound trust in the process and in God's ability to transform adversities into opportunities for growth. Each unsuccessful attempt, rather than being viewed as a finality, becomes an ascending step, a valuable lesson that enhances the next endeavor. Furthermore, the importance of cultivating professional and spiritual relationships during this period cannot be overstated. Frequently, the connections we forge with other individuals, both within and outside the workplace, become unexpected conduits for new opportunities. A trusted colleague, an experienced mentor, or even a member of our faith community can offer crucial advice, a valuable referral, or a renewed perspective that opens a new path. In this regard, imagine a professional who, feeling stalled in his current career, decides to invest time in networking and mentoring activities. By sharing his aspirations and challenges with others, he exposes himself to new ideas and connections that would otherwise remain inaccessible. This proactivity, sustained by faith in divine providence, is an active component in the opening of doors. Another fundamental aspect to consider is the necessity of adaptation and flexibility. The world of work is in constant evolution, and the skills valued today may become obsolete tomorrow. Therefore, the willingness to acquire new knowledge, hone existing competencies, and even reevaluate our career plans in the face of new realities is crucial. Let us consider a professional in a traditional field who recognizes the growing demand for digital skills. Instead of resisting change, they decide to pursue courses, certifications, and practical experiences that prepare them for the new market requirements. This adaptability demonstrates not only intelligence and foresight, but also a confidence in God's ability to equip us for the challenges He presents. Consequently, it is essential to maintain an attitude of gratitude, even amidst difficulties. Recognizing the blessings already received, however small they may seem, nourishes faith and strengthens us to continue moving forward. Gratitude prevents us from falling into the trap of complaint and resentment, allowing us to see the bigger picture and trust that God is working in all circumstances for our good. In this context, it is vital that prayer becomes not merely a request, but also an act of surrender and trust. Entrusting our careers into God's hands, with the certainty that He has the best for us, is the foundation upon which we build our perseverance. It is acknowledging that, while we do our part in seeking opportunities and improving our skills, the ultimate opening of doors resides in His sovereign will. In the interim, let us turn our attention to the dimension of practical wisdom and strategic discernment as crucial heavenly ingredients for the opening of professional doors. It is not enough to simply cry out for opportunities, It is also necessary to be prepared to recognize them and to seize them effectively when they arise. At times, doors do not open due to a lack of preparation or a limited understanding of what truly constitutes a divine opportunity. For instance, let us consider a professional who aspires to a position in a highly competitive field. Mere faith, without investing in the continuous improvement of their skills, may not suffice. Divine wisdom urges us to seek relevant knowledge, develop competencies that the market values, and understand the nuances of the sector in which we wish to operate. It is akin to a farmer who, in addition to praying for rain, prepares the soil, selects the best seeds, and tends to the crop. Furthermore, the capacity for critical analysis and strategic planning is a gift the Lord bestows upon us to navigate the complex professional landscape. We must discern the opportune moment to present a proposal, to request advancement, or to change course. This prudence does not oppose faith, but rather complements it, allowing our actions to align with the wisdom granted to us. Consider the situation of a professional receiving multiple job offers simultaneously. The choice we make at this juncture can have significant long-term implications. Practical wisdom helps us weigh not only the salary package, but also the organizational culture, growth opportunities, alignment with our values, and crucially, the potential to fulfill God's purpose for us in that specific phase. Moreover, humility in recognizing our limitations and a willingness to learn from those with more experience are bulwarks of professional wisdom. At times, arrogance or excessive self-confidence can blind us to valuable counsel and alternative paths that others, through their own journeys, may indicate to us. Imagine a professional who, instead of trying to reinvent the wheel, seeks mentorship and advice from respected leaders in their field. This attitude of continuous learning, of absorbing the experience of others, does not diminish their individuality, but enriches it, opening doors to insights and strategies they might not have achieved alone. It is equally important to develop effective communication skills. The way we express our ideas, present our qualifications, and negotiate our terms can be a decisive factor in opening or closing doors. Prayer for clarity in communication, for eloquence and genuine persuasion, especially when these qualities serve a greater purpose, is fundamental. Finally, the ability to read between the lines of situations, to perceive power dynamics, the hidden needs of employers, or the true nature of a project is an aspect of the wisdom the Lord grants us. This insight empowers us to anticipate challenges, identify risks, and capitalize on opportunities that remain invisible to the less attentive. Thus, with a contrite heart and a prepared mind, we walk towards the doors God has reserved for us, confident that divine wisdom and strategy will guide us every step of the way. Perseverance, therefore, manifests not only in adhering to a single path, but also in the capacity to recalibrate one's trajectory and adapt to the new directions that professional life presents. Excessive rigidity, regardless of the initial conviction, can become an insurmountable obstacle as the landscape shifts or new information becomes available. Consider, for instance, a traditional marketing professional who, recognizing the migration of consumer behavior to the digital realm, eschews outdated print advertising methods in favor of investing heavily in content marketing, social media, and SEO courses. This flexibility, this willingness to embrace and apply novel tools, is a tangible expression of perseverance that molds itself to present-day exigencies, thereby opening avenues for new endeavors and relevance. Furthermore, genuine faith in God propels us to action, to take the necessary steps, even when the path ahead appears obscured. Passivity, fueled by the belief that the Lord will provide without our active participation, rarely leads to the emergence of new opportunities. It is therefore imperative that prayer be coupled with intentional and strategic action. Let us consider the case of someone who, following an unexpected layoff, dedicates themselves to updating their resume, refining their portfolio, and reaching out to their network with a clear objective. This proactive initiative, even amidst uncertainty, demonstrates to both the Lord and the world our readiness to serve as instruments in His hands, prepared to traverse the paths He designates. Conversely, it is crucial to distinguish spiritual perseverance from blind obstinacy. True perseverance in Christ is characterized by a steadfast commitment to one's goals, coupled with an open heart to divine correction and redirection. If a particular professional path, despite consistent effort and earnest prayer, continues to present insurmountable barriers and a persistent sense of misalignment with a greater purpose, it may signal that the Lord is calling us to explore alternatives. Learning to heed this subtle guidance, to decipher the signs He sends through circumstances and individuals, is a hallmark of spiritual maturity and professional acumen. Imagine, for example, a professional diligently pursuing a promotion within their current organization, yet despite all their efforts and qualifications, the opportunity perpetually eludes them. Concurrently, an invitation to a challenging project in another firm, with an entirely different scope, emerges. Christian perseverance, in this scenario, would not entail stubbornly clinging to the desired promotion, but rather discerning whether the new invitation represents the door God has prepared for their growth and the unfolding of His plans. Furthermore, the importance of contentment in all career phases cannot be overlooked. The relentless pursuit of more, of the new, without first valuing and extracting learning from what one already possesses, can ensnare us in a cycle of dissatisfaction. Contentment, in its Christian essence, is not inertia, but rather a profound gratitude for what one has, coupled with the confidence that, if it aligns with the Father's will, new and better opportunities will emerge. This gratitude cultivates a resilient spirit, capable of facing challenges with serenity and recognizing blessings, even amidst trials. Therefore, perseverance, when anchored in faith and divine wisdom, empowers us to navigate the turbulent waters of professional life, transforming obstacles into stepping stones and uncertainties into opportunities for growth and glorification of the Lord's name. It is a legacy of strength and trust that fosters an unshakable character in the face of adversity, preparing us for the new doors that He will undoubtedly open in His perfect timing. In parallel to resilient perseverance, a new field to be honored is the cultivation of generosity and altruistic service within the professional sphere. All too often, our pursuit of new opportunities can lead us to an excessive focus on ourselves, our needs, and our aspirations. However, the Scriptures teach us that there is an intrinsic power in the act of giving, of offering our gifts and talents for the benefit of others. This practice, far from depleting us, paradoxically fills us and often opens unexpected pathways. Now, consider how this manifests in practice. A professional who, regardless of how challenging their own search for a new job or promotion may be, dedicates themselves to mentoring less experienced colleagues, or to volunteering their skills on community projects that directly benefit individuals in vulnerable situations. This type of genuine generosity does not merely aim for immediate return, but springs from a grateful heart and an understanding that our most profound service is that which transcends self-interest. Frequently, the positive impact generated by this attitude reflects back, attracting to us the doors that the Lord wishes to open, often through relationships built on this foundation of selfless service. Moreover, the wisdom in recognizing and embracing moments of transition as gateways for growth deserves special attention. Some professional doors do not close permanently, but transform, demanding from us an ability to adapt and a discerning eye for what the new configuration offers. Instead of lamenting the loss of a former status or way of working, we can, with divine guidance, discern the new learnings, new connections, and new purposes that emerge from these changes. Consider, for instance, a professional who, after years in a specific role, is reassigned to a department with entirely new and challenging responsibilities. The initial reaction might be resistance or frustration, but a faith-based perspective teaches us to view this reassignment not as a setback, but as an invitation to broaden our horizons, acquire new competencies, and perhaps discover a latent talent we never knew we possessed. This capacity to see transition as an opportunity, rather than an impediment, is crucial for the doors the Lord prepares to fully reveal themselves. Another relevant aspect is the encouragement of strategic prayer focused on divine gifts and purposes. Prayer should not be generic. Rather, it should be an intimate dialogue where we ask for clarity regarding the specific gifts the Lord has bestowed upon us and how these can be best applied to fulfill His designs in our careers. By focusing our supplications on the activation of these gifts and identifying how they align with the divine plan, we are, in essence, directing our faith toward the opportunities that have been predestined for us. Let us consider, for example, someone who feels a strong calling to utilize their communication skills in a specific ministry, or to lead teams with a focus on human development. By praying with such clarity, directing our petitions so that gifts of oratory and leadership are used in a way that positively impacts the work environment and those around us, we are aligning ourselves with the Father's sovereign will, which desires that we use our talents for His glory. This type of prayer is not a mere formality, but an act of surrender and trust in the Lord's ability to build us up and guide us to positions where we will be most fruitful. As we revisit the paths we have explored thus far, we perceive a remarkable convergence among the various facets of the pursuit of professional advancement. The journey, far from being linear, reveals itself as a complex interweaving of personal initiative, spiritual discernment, and a profound trust in divine sovereignty. We observe how clarity of purpose acts as a compass, guiding actions even when the seas of uncertainty grow denser, and how resilience becomes not merely a desirable characteristic, but a spiritual cornerstone that sustains us against contrary winds. Wisdom, in turn, emerges as a vital link, enabling us to interpret the signs along the path, adapt our plans, and recognize opportunities that often disguise themselves under the guise of unexpected challenges. Reflecting on this trajectory leads us to a deeper understanding that the opening of significant doors in our careers is a multifaceted process, requiring the harmonious integration of our human capabilities with God's guidance and transformative power. At this confluence of elements, the idea becomes palpable that the pursuit of advancement is not an isolated act of effort, but a subtle dance between our will and the celestial plan. Generosity, when practiced amidst our own necessities, reveals a powerful paradox. The act of giving, of serving with detachment, paves paths of abundance and opens fissures through which divine light can penetrate, illuminating new possibilities. Transitions, which at first glance may seem like endings, gain a new contour when viewed through the lens of faith, transforming into true portals for learning and the expansion of our gifts. As we navigate these waters, the importance of constant dialogue with the Creator, articulating precisely our desires and the gifts He has bestowed upon us, stands out as a beacon, directing our energy and hope towards the outcomes He has prepared. This convergence of actions and intentions, when aligned with the divine will, prepares the ground for what once seemed blocked to become an invitation to a new professional horizon, where our contribution becomes more significant and aligned with the purpose entrusted to us. As we consider these points, the path to a revelatory conclusion unfolds, promising a closure that honors the journey undertaken and anticipates the fullness of God's plan for our professional lives.